Who can kill the most protected man on Earth? Is it a lone wolf with a hunting rifle? A sleeper agent with a surface-to-air missile? Or a ghost who doesn't exist on any database? We've all seen the close calls. The grazed ear in Pennsylvania. The frantic agents screaming, "Shoot her down!" But those attempts didn't fail because of luck. They failed because the assassin wasn't fighting a man. They were fighting a fortress, breathing and thinking fortress that moves at 700 miles per hour and can vaporize a threat before a human eye can even blink. To get to Donald Trump, you don't need a gun. You need to solve a puzzle so complex, so impossibly layered, that only one archetype in human history could ever hope to succeed. Today, we aren't just listing his security, we're breaking it, layer by layer. From the flesh and bone that would take a bullet for him, to the silent, invisible dome of fire that surrounds him. This is the gauntlet. Who doesn't make a single mistake. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why the only person who can kill the president is a ghost who doesn't make a single mistake.
Forget the gadgets for a moment. The first layer isn't made of steel, it's made of ego. The Secret Service's Counter-Assault Team, or CAT. These aren't bodyguards, they are human sponges designed to absorb a bullet. Biologically, they are programmed to override the human instinct for flight. When a shot rings out, a civilian runs away. A CAT agent runs toward the geometry of death. They form a human cell around the president, creating a wall of Kevlar vests and flesh. Their sidearms are secondary. Their primary weapon is their own heartbeat, willing to stop so his can continue. But how do you beat a human shield? You don't shoot the president. You shoot the man next to him. They account for that. They wear the president's blood type in a fridge in the motorcade. You'll be neutralized by close-quarter battle experts who train in kill houses, designed to mimic the exact ballrooms of the Mar-a-Lago dinner floor. The American viewer understands the Secret Service as guys in suits. They don't understand that these are the same operators who breach terrorists. A sniper can see the president's silhouette, but the refraction is so extreme, the bullet will bend. But the real escape plan is above you. Marine One isn't a helicopter, it's a deception operation. When the president lifts off, look at the sky. You see 3 identical white-topped birds. They fly in a shell game, switching positions over the Potomac River. If you fire a heat-seeking Stinger missile from the ground, you have a 1 in 3 chance of hitting a decoy. Even if you lock onto the right one, the helicopter vomits a storm of superheated magnesium flares, creating a thermal signature brighter than the sun. Your missile chases a false star while Trump flies away, bathed in the green glow of night vision goggle-compatible cabin lights. To beat the beast, you need an IED the size of an Oklahoma sinkhole. And to beat Marine One, you need to be able to see through confusion, a statistical improbability. But let's get high-tech. Maybe you're a modern American villain. You don't want to use a 30-06 rifle, you want to use a DJI drone rigged with a grenade. This is the #1 fear of the modern Secret Service. So how do they stop you? They ride in a vehicle that looks like an unassuming black Suburban, but it's actually a weapon of mass disruption. It's the electronic warfare suite. As the motorcade passes, your cell phone drops. Your drone's GPS coordinates suddenly show it flying over a different continent. The radio frequency controlling an IED just turns to white noise. This is called spoofing and jamming. The president travels inside a localized electronic black hole. The Manhattan Project of his detail is the ability to hack back the airspace. If you try to detonate a device remotely, you are fighting an antenna that can pinpoint your signal's origin in milliseconds. The Guy Fawkes of the 21st century, the lone wolf hiding in a basement using a cell trigger, is neutralized before he even knows the motorcade has left the compound. The air itself is weaponized against you. So you can't go through the men, you can't drive through the car, and you can't hack the airwaves. What about flying a Cessna loaded with explosives directly into the property? This is post-9/11 America. That scenario has been gamed out 1,000,000 times at NORAD. The Secret Service doesn't just protect the president's body. They control the sky. Look closely at the unmarked trucks near a Trump rally or in the bushes of his golf course. You'll spot the Avenger system, a turret housing 8 fire-and-forget Stinger missiles. But that's just the small stuff. Hidden in plain sight around Washington, D.C. is the NASAMS, the same system used to protect the White House since the Cold War. It's linked to the Pentagon's Deep Sky Radar Network. If a slow-moving Cessna enters the 30-mile VIP temporary flight restriction zone without a squawk code, an F-16 Fighting Falcon doesn't just intercept it. The pilot will fly inverted, belly up, and use flares to blind the pilot. If they don't turn, the authorization to turn your Cessna into confetti is already signed. The air defense is not designed to warn, it's designed to eliminate. To beat the Avenger, you need to fly so low that the Earth's curvature hides you. Nap of the Earth flying, a skill that requires thousands of hours in a military cockpit. The sky over Trump is a glass ceiling, and if you try to break it, the glass cuts you down. Now we enter the realm of the catastrophic. What if an enemy state fires a ballistic missile, a Scud, a hypersonic, a weapon of mass destruction aimed at Mar-a-Lago? This is the break glass in case of war scenario, and it's where we meet THAAD, Terminal High Altitude Area Defense. It doesn't just shoot down a missile, it obliterates it outside the atmosphere by sheer kinetic force. A bullet hitting a bullet at Mach 8. But here is the dark, chilling detail for the American conspiracy theorist in you. The ultimate defense isn't THAAD, it's the briefcase. The military aide standing behind Trump at every single press conference carries the football. Inside is the black book of retaliatory strikes. The ultimate defense against killing Donald Trump is the absolute certainty of the apocalypse. If you kill him during a nuclear event, you have to be sure his successor can't retaliate. You'd have to launch a simultaneous decapitating strike on the entire continuity of government. The vice president, the speaker, the line of succession hiding in Raven Rock and Mount Weather. You aren't just trying to kill a man anymore, you're trying to kill a hydra. So we return to our question. Who can kill Donald Trump? We've profiled the targets and the tools. Let's profile the assassin. He cannot be an ideologue who wants to die. The human shield out-fanaticizes him. He cannot be a tech genius. The electronic warfare suite out-signals him. He cannot be a foreign pilot. The F-16s outfly him. The THAAD system outguns him. The only person who can kill Donald Trump is a statistical ghost. This individual would need to understand the spoofing timing of the motorcade's electronic warfare cycling, a breach of top-secret information. They'd need to know the exact thermal frequency of the Marine One flares to calibrate a custom seeker missile. They'd need to be an expert in behavioral psychology to predict when the CAT team rotates their hydration cycles. Yes, they track that. This person is a paradox. They must be intensely suicidal, but infinitely patient. They must have access to state-level intelligence, but have no digital footprint. They are a ghost who can outbore the most disciplined sniper on the roof, a hacker who can rewrite the firmware of the missile defense system without tripping a byte-level sensor. In short, the only person who can kill the president is a fabrication. The system is designed so that the perfect storm of attackers simply cannot exist in one human lifespan. The Secret Service's greatest weapon isn't the gun, it's the exhaustion of the attacker's brain. And yet, he stands on stage, he pumps his fist, he yells, "Fight!" We look at that image and we see defiance. The Secret Service sees a nightmare. Because every ounce of this billion-dollar arsenal, this dome of steel, this web of AI and satellite jamming, has one catastrophic vulnerability. the Protectee himself. The algorithm hates unpredictability, and Donald Trump is an agent of chaos. He wants to be touched by the crowd. He wants the open air. He resists the armored box. So, while the phantom assassin we theorized about may not exist, the greatest threat to the president's life is the president's own dismissal of the threat. The only person who can kill Donald Trump is the one he refuses to hide from. The lonely walk across the South Lawn is the most dangerous walk in the world, not because the systems are weak, but because the man using them fights against their very purpose. The shield holds, but the knight keeps stepping outside it. And that, America, is the ultimate paradoxical truth.